Africa TV Freak Up Studio live. LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6 2021 GSL Season 1.
What is up, everybody? Is my mic on? Do you hear me? Check, 1, 2, 3. Check.
Jesus.
Okay, I am on. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another day of the GSL Code S. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Sorry, I got
okay.
thrown off by my mic levels there.
Sick.
Sorry. No, but it's good to be back here as we continue on here in Code S.
Yeah, this is the last day of the round of 16. We're going to be having that round of 8 bracket. By the end of it, it should be interesting to see who ends up going through. This is a group of 3 Protoss and our final Zerg. Zerg's not doing as well here into the round of 8.
No. And I do think this is a group that's pretty difficult to call.
Yeah.
You know, PvP, there's a lot of volatility in the matchup. There's a lot of different ways the games could go. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And, you know, I do appreciate it when we do get a very matchup-heavy day where we really can do like a deep dive and kind of unpack the ins and outs of where it is right now.
Yeah, and I agree. I generally do like that type of day, but unfortunately for you, Tasteless, SOS is in this group, so probably not a whole lot will make sense.
Yeah. I'm always a fan of SOS games, though. And on that note, by the way, you know, as great as he's been, he hasn't really been performing as well. He still brings out amazing games from time to time, but it doesn't appear like the SOS, you know, insane style has been as effective as of late.
Yeah, like he didn't make finals or anything lately, so it's not looking as hot for him. Here you see our bracket in the round of 8 so far.
Got the rogue side, and then the one that might be harder to call.
Yeah, no, that's a fine way to put it. Like, it really looks like a rogue season, and I mean that's generally how it goes. There's like seasons where rogue smashes everyone, and then there's seasons where rogue just dies early.
Right.
But yeah, this is our lineup for today. Trap, Armani, SOS, and Zest. It's a couple of our super underperformers here for GSL as far as SOS and Trap, both with 2 silver medals.
Yeah, I do think Trap is still by far the strongest player in this group. Would you agree with that?
No, I think Zest is on his level.
You are a Zest guy at the end of the day.
I've always been a Zest guy.
Guys, quick video, then we're going to start our matches.
조성호 선수의 시간이 좀 기다리고 있습니다. 어떤 조를 만들고 싶으세요?
저그 선수를 생각하고 있었는데 이제, A조에 갈 것 같아가지고 그래서 또 다른 원하는 선수가 있으신지.
자, 여기서 조성호 선수에게 지금 가고 싶은 선수 강민수.
성호 형이 최근에 우승하셨을 때 항상 저를 이기고 우승하셨거든요.
와.
그래가지고 이번에 또 우승하시려면 또 저를 이기고 우승하셨으면 좋겠어요.
성호 형이랑 같은 팀 된 김에 대회에서 한번 게임하고 같이 손잡고 올라가고 싶습니다.
이야, 이게
약간 민수 의견 듣고 보고 싶은 마음이 있었는데 또 진혁이는 팀킬이라서 아예 생각을 안 하고 있었는데 진혁이가 또 이렇게 같이 올라가자고 이렇게 제안을 하니까 또 좀 괜찮은 것 같아요. 그래서 누굴 뽑을까 고민이에요. 둘 다.
지금 고민이래요.
팀이 모두 다 마음대로 되면 좋긴 한데.
진짜 팀원의 이야기 들어주면서요. 그룹 D로 박진혁 선수가 좀 들어가게 되었습니다.
팀원이니까 아예 생각을 안 하고 있는데 진영이가 오고 싶어하는 마음도 있고 그래서 같이 올라가자고 하는 마음에 그래서 뽑게 됐어요.
저랑 성호 형이랑 이게 원하는 게 딱 맞아 떨어져가지고
이번 선수가요?
속전속결로 딱 정해서 끝냈습니다.
조성호와 박진혁 선수 함께 같은 조로 들어갈
공적으로
김유진을 뽑았어요.
어딜 조를 가든 조금 힘들 거라고 생각해서 A조를 가고 싶었거든요. 근데 안 뽑아줄 걸 알기 때문에 그냥 마지막에 제일 센 선수가 오니까 그냥 그 선수랑 게임하면 재밌을 것 같아서 그냥 한다고 했어요.
여기서 이제 최종 선택 마지막 선택이 기다리고 있습니다.
조금 있느냐인데
누구를 데려가나 정말
쓰고 뭐고 어림없다.
항상 이렇게 마지막에 남는 선수가 좀 되는 것 같아요. 주성호 선수는요.
아니요, 제가 올차임 끝나고 좀 의욕이 사라져가지고 좀 빨리 뽑힐 줄 알았는데 뭐 늦게 뽑힌 조치고는 괜찮은 것 같고 마지막 시즌이 될 수도 있을 것 같은데 지금부터 준비 좀 열심히 해가지고 높이 올라가겠습니다.
네, 멋진 모습 이번 시즌에 기대를 하도록 하겠습니다.
Round of 16. Trap. Armani. SOS. Zest. GSL Season 1. Code S.
All right, we're back, and we are ready to start our groups.
Well, after what Zest said there, maybe it is Trap that's going to do a bit better. He's like, I don't really have motivation right now. I'm going to the military soon. I'll do my best.
It's one of those things where it's such a pain in the ass for the career of any pro gamer out here.
Yeah.
You know, the military service. By the way, guys, you cannot compete/make money when you're serving in the military. That includes even streaming.
Yeah,
like you can't do any of that.
Can't do anything.
So I mean, people said it was a death sentence in the in the story of a pro gamer's career. Although I think esports, StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 esports has gone on long enough where it doesn't seem like that's really the case. I think there's always this attitude that everything is so futile, but really this game is actually very old and well tested. And same with StarCraft 1. So. Yeah, I mean, Zest is eventually going to have to go to the military, right? But, you know, we'll see how he does here, and we'll see how he does when he comes back as well.
Yeah, it'll be a while, but it is what it is.
Damn, nice. It is what it is.
Well, I've been through this so many times. It's like heartbreak every time, Tasis, when one of these players that's... Zest is honestly, in modern times, the most influential Protoss that we've had. And there's not a question there. I don't... literally... don't even bother to message me because he has made more of the builds and refined more of the builds than anyone else. And like to lose him to the military, I think is a big blow for the Protoss race because he still peaks like once a year where it's like, oh yeah, no, he's the best right now for the race. You know?
And he also has got some very sharp, specific types of attacks.
Yeah.
We're actually going to go to Trap versus Armani now, though. It's going to be on death or for map number 1, and that game will be starting right now. Let's go.
2021. GSL Season 1. We stood at the edge of the world. Seize the stakes. Africa Freaks. Trap. Africa Freaks, Armani.
So Armani's prep for this group has got to be a lot easier, right? Or is it in fact harder because everybody's going to see the way that you're playing?
I think that the 3 players he's going up against have such drastically different styles that's fine.
Okay, that's a good point. These are 3 completely different Protosses.
Yeah, Trap is kind of a complete player, and then Zest is a mid-game player, and then SOS is an insane player.
SOS is an insane person.
Yeah, so it's I don't think it's for him. It's just like, okay, just be really good.
Yeah,
just play your best. You know.
And we've got a
oh man,
we've got a very technical Trap. We've got Zest with all his great timings. Who knows what SOS was doing while he was wearing a straitjacket, banging his head against the padded walls of an insane asylum before this match.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're going to get.
Who knows what he came up with there, man. I tell you. It's kind of like we heard from Bunny, right, when he beat Stats. He's like, yeah, no, I got drunk and I came up with this build and then beat Stats with a Game 5. That's kind of reminds me of SOS. I'm like, I don't know what he does to come up with the things that he does, but whatever it is, it works out. So, kind of a greedy opener from Trap. Goes for the very late scout, but not going to be punished here. And I'm kind of excited to see what Armani's ZVP is going to look like. He's still a little bit of a wild card. He's had much better results for the past couple of years. He's been getting, peaking up and having a good time. But yeah, like, he's not super stable,
Yeah.
He's not like one of these other guys where I'm like, oh, I already know kind of where you're at and where you're going to finish. Like he might come out really strong today and win the group, but he could also get last place. I could see either way going.
So the Stargate build, coming up here for Trap. I do think in this match, I would be very surprised if Armani defeated Trap.
Yeah, I think it would be.
I think that Trap has really been on top of his game.
Yeah. I mean, his last 6 months have been
phenomenal. Yeah.
So an Oracle, Stalker as well.
We've got 10 links coming down here for the Zerg. Things are going to be pretty quiet to start things off over here. Doesn't appear that there's any kind of committed attack coming on either side.
No.
Just Armani going to drone up for a little bit. I am curious to see if we're going to have one of these long, protracted PVZs. You know, these did seem to be popular a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I was actually kind of talking about that a little bit today on the Pylon Show. It's really strange watching the Korean Protosses like not really utilize Void Rays, and instead we're seeing like lots of glaives and stuff and lots of gateway attacks.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, I don't feel like that's the way you're supposed to be doing it right now, but that's the way they're doing it.
So
okay.
In our last cast this Monday, it was like that.
Yeah, Zaun was bringing out some weird stuff. Didn't work out for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, without it working out. Yeah, exactly. This time around, looks like he is going to catch one of these Adepts, get the kill there. There is going to be a Robo follow-up. So this doesn't appear to be any very heavy, air attack unit commitment here. We just have the Oracle that's come through there. And
not too bad, though.
I was going to mention, are we going to see him mass up a Void Rays or anything like that? And I don't know. I guess that style isn't as popular right now.
Yeah, not in Korea, at least. And, you know, he gets 5 drones with that. Not too bad, considering the Adepts kind of got caught out in the map. Yeah, a couple more going down. Robo is on the way. A couple more gates as well. No third Nexus as of yet.
Yeah, these Lings are here to try to get a quick denial on that, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Pylon's going to come up. 2 more Adepts coming down here.
Oops.
And, okay, not bad, but there's some Zealots coming down here to help. But that is a bit annoying, losing those 2 Adepts like that. We've already seen Trap hemorrhage 3 Adepts. Not really accomplishing that much. Now the Roach Warren, excuse me, the Roach Warren is coming down here now as well.
His layer about halfway done. And nothing looking too out of the ordinary on either side, to be honest. I guess the most out of the ordinary thing is that 0 Void Rays were made.
Okay, good.
Oh, man. Just barely.
The Oracles needed to cuddle more.
Yeah, he pushed him off.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not a touchy-feely guy, and now he's dead.
That Oracle doesn't like to, it doesn't like to share the blanket
I don't like
at night.
hugs, yeah. Okay, the push is now coming out here. We've got a War Prism here as well.
And let's see what he gets done. I don't think it's going to be that dedicated.
Sorry. I like it. Sometimes when you're talking, you got to go, hey, what is he doing? Let's see what he gets done.
You got to do it. You got to sometimes ask the question rather than make the statement tasteless.
What he's going to go with this push. So here he comes now. He's going up over to the third base. There's a lot of queens, a lot of... hold on. Lings are going to come in here from behind. I don't feel like Zerg really has that much, though. I mean, this is a pretty easy juggle. We don't really have enough Ravagers, certainly not even in range, to peg that War Prism.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He's doing like a lot more than I thought he would end up doing. The 3 spines do finish up here. And trying to get through these force fields, they are dropping off in number.
Yeah, this is actually doing a ton of damage here. We don't have a second Immortal inbound here right now. Instead, he's just going to keep warping in. But, you know, if Zerg loses this hatch, that could be fatal.
You know, if he loses that hatch, yeah, that's kind of huge. And I actually want to see Trap back up a little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, because this felt like more of a macro build, so I didn't think he was actually going to, I thought this was going to be more of a pressure, and then he got there and there was nothing there, and he like kills the hatch. But he's actually been macroing behind. Like, he only stopped probe production for a moment. He's got great worker saturation on the 3 bases, adding all sorts of tech, has his forge up and everything. So I feel like as long as Trap doesn't like throw away his army, he is in fantastic shape here.
Yeah, I think this is really a sign of a good player, to back up and say, all right, I basically succeeded in everything that I needed to do. It's not like after you kill the 3rd hatch, you have to then smashed the Zerg and killed him. You've already basically gotten ahead. All the Zerg can do at this point in time is try to make a hatchery again and defend it, and if you go in and kill that again, you win. And you know, in the long history of StarCraft, we have seen players who are winning, and then they just keep attacking in, and they've lost the Immortals, they've lost the Warp Prism, or the Sentries, things that are not easily replenishable, and then they lose the game. So, you know, it's sometimes not the most exciting thing to watch, but it's actually how you win, and it's actually how you play like a good player.
Well, honestly, if you don't think it's the most exciting thing to watch someone really perfect the fundamentals of one of the hardest games ever created, then you have no taste and turn off the show. You know, it's like that's in my world, that is the best thing to see. Tasteless is someone look at that and say, yeah, now I back up and we reinforce, we get these upgrades done, we make sure our economy's rolling, and then we go up and kill.
Another denial over here on the 4th. I mean, there is an impending attack that's going to be on this 3rd. He might even actually take this all the way up here to the natural. Notice he's having just the Stalkers come up with his army over here, since he can blink away so easily.
Yeah, really not risking much of anything there. Has a straight way to blink back and get away, and just kind of keeping the pressure on. You can see he's up in workers, adding in the support bay as well as the second robo, getting his upgrades. And Armani is mostly sitting here making units. He's down workers. His economy is just not as good. The 4th Nexus just started. Some great things going on for Trap. But Armani does make the Nidus. So I like that as an idea right here. Because he is forced into making all these units, right? So maybe there's a situation where Trap is in a funny position and Armani can do some big damage.
Yeah. Okay. Another big push in here. You know, Protoss is also getting this 4th base up like this is going to be so immensely ahead, but I like the Nidus idea.
Yeah.
I think this is the one good out for Armani. I don't think it's going to work, but I think it's smart, right? Like
exactly. I couldn't agree more.
Like
I don't think it will work, but I can't think of anything else that will, so let's try this.
Yeah, if I'm rooting for him, I'm really thinking the Nidus was a good move here.
Yeah.
Well, we're beginning to get to the boiling point here. You know, Protoss is nearly maxed out and looking for a fight.
And Armani has a lot of supply as well. And it's mostly like Ling Ravager, which isn't that bad supply-wise.
I so wanted to see a disruptor shot, just nuke that. Yeah, the number of Ravagers that's out is causing a problem here for Trap, because you can keep endlessly firing projectiles, or you can artillery out the biles, and the Protoss just can't actually stay and push. The Nidus Worm is shut down with ease.
I guess almost lucky for him that it gets killed, because those disruptors were coming up. That would have made anything coming out get really punished.
I'm surprised we don't have double Nidus more often.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I've seen it so few times, right?
Yeah.
It's like maybe Dark, Rogue, and Cyril I've seen do it. If that, that's like about it. But that one doesn't work. It does kind of slow down Trap's pushing. They're both near maxed right here. Okay, throws down some biles. Those are sick biles. Oh my god.
Nasty biles on those Immortals, but is there just too much Protoss here?
Are there too many biles here too? I mean, we had some really insane biles.
You get pretty used to seeing the pros dodge every bile all the time, and it's sort of not something you tend to pay much attention to.
Yeah.
Since both sides are usually playing so perfectly, but that was a lot that just connected there. But I think there's still just too much coming. You know, with the 3 disruptors here, they're so good at hunting down the Ravagers. The Ravager really just can't get away if the shot is timed correctly.
Yeah. Throwing down lots of biles. Microing his heart out right now, but can he actually hold on against this ridiculous army of Trap? It's just so efficient. And the amount of Stalkers he has is pretty insane as well. Now, he does have some Vipers that are being made, so of course Abduct can cancel those Novas. And, you know, Blinding Cloud is definitely very good against Stalkers as well, but it feels like it's going to be too little too late.
Okay, the push is coming here. Again, over to this 4th. Zerg has to keep this 4th. I will say this is some of the best biles we've had. I mean, really hitting Immortals over and over again like this. But what Armani is just trying to do is not get completely run over, and this blink in is insane. The Ravagers are going down. There are so many Immortals so well positioned. GG. Trap takes game 1.
Well, Trap just knew that inside and out, man. Like, that was as close to a flawless game as I can come up with from Trap.
Yeah,
right?
it was really good.
He was like basically doing a macro build, pushed out, killed the 3rd hatch, retreated perfectly and hit on the edges, forcing nonstop units, pulled back again, switched into disruptors, and then like literally ate more biles than I've ever seen anyone eat in a game, but it didn't matter because he had enough that he could break him anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many biles hit, but it just did not matter.
Yeah. Insanely well played from Trap. Insanely well played.
You know, Armani, he had a tough game. I think he held his own there for a while, but I mean, Trap basically just overpowered him, especially after he killed that first base.
I didn't feel like he played particularly badly. It was just like he kind of got caught at his 3rd and things went wrong.
Yeah.
2021 GSL Season 1. We stood at the edge of the world. Seize the stakes. Africa Freaks, Trap. Africa Freaks, Armani.
A little hatchery block this game. We'll see how this one goes differently, obviously. Some slightly different openings here.
We've got the 3rd hatchery down far away. The probe came in here for the block. I think the most impressive part about that last game from the Zerg's perspective is how well the Zerg fought back after losing the 3rd.
Yeah, I thought he did. I thought he did fine. You know, he was focusing on like Ling Ravager for the most part, which can't blame him because the Roaches aren't going to do all that well. So I think it was an okay composition. The Nidus wasn't a bad idea, I don't think. Didn't do anything, unfortunately, and it was like he got outmathed. You know?
Really, Zerg had to be very prepared for that push that came in there, and he just wasn't. There was way too much damage that was dished out. I don't think Trap has to do anything specifically fancy coming into this game either, by the way.
No. It's not one of those situations where you're looking for some cheeky plays from Trap to win. Like, if anyone's going to win a macro PvZ, it's going to be him.
Would you say that Trap is the most well-rounded Protoss that we have in the GSL now?
Yeah.
I think that's true, yeah.
I would absolutely say that. I think he's good at every portion of the game.
I feel like a lot of our other Protosses, they're like, I don't know, like they each have special powers, but I do feel like Trap kind of is like Superman or...
Yeah, the only one
well, you can fly and you are invincible and you have X-ray vision. All right.
The only one that's anything like him really is Stats. Stats tends a little bit more defensive, but I would say Stats would be second on the well-rounded list, probably.
Trap is like Captain Planet. The other Protosses are like, what is the Planeteers? Was that what they were called?
Yeah,
right?
I believe the Planeteers. I believe it's the Planeteers, yeah. And which ones are they, though, Taste?
Zest is fire.
Oh, he's the fire guy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we can get behind that.
Okay.
Wait, Parting? No, Parting's fire.
Parting is fire.
Fire. Zest is... No, Parting is heart.
Parting is not heart. There's no way he's heart.
Zest is fire. SOS is wind.
Are you sure that SOS isn't one of the pollution bad guys?
Yeah, actually, he might be one of the pollution bad guys. You could be right about that.
We'll see how he plays today. So Zaun is wind.
I was thinking Zaun would be water, but...
Water?
Yeah.
No, he's
We're not
wind.
on the same page here,
no.
man. Yeah,
This is the end of Tastosis. I can tell you barely watch Captain Planet.
I know that Parting is heart for sure.
So just some adepts shading around. Oracle being made. Second one. First one coming across the map right now. Couple spores on the way. See how much damage you can get done. We got about 7 drones with the initial harassment last time, but that did involve 2 adepts dying. here. Doesn't really feel like he's going to get too much done. Armani a bit more on top of things. Okay, 1, 2.
Here comes that second Oracle. We've got the Twilight Council down here now as well. I think this is going to be extremely similar to the last game we had. I don't think Trap wants to do anything fancy. I don't think he even wants to do any kind of weird timing builds at all because he's going to carry those other builds that he has with him through the tournament, you know? Like when you're going through a tournament and you're against somebody that you know you are supposed to beat, no problem at all. You don't really want to do anything out there, right? It's like just play a very straightforward build, be safe, you're going to outpace him.
But like Rogue is the only other Zerg left in the tournament, so like
exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to save the bet because he's
maybe
if you're a tournament champion, you're looking all the way on the other side of the bracket for the threats too. It's not a day-by-day thing,
That's
right?
true. He does. I think Trap can easily make a finals.
I think if you're Creator, as an example, or just one of the other guys that, you know, let's say you're round of 16 or you were round of 32, now a Code A player or something, I think you do look at each group or each day as just, let's get through today, let's not lose. But if you're like Trap here, where you actually could win this season, I think that, yeah, you do save your absolute craziest and best stuff for even that only Zerg, right?
Well, looks like an Archon drop was planned here, but the Zerglings find the warp in, and he does have to pick that up and run away with those High Templars, morph them into Archons elsewhere. And he is making those now while taking that base. Charge on the way. He's also added 4 gates.
Okay, 2 Archons coming out now.
Yeah, let's see what he can get done with it.
Looks like it's going to be paired with the Oracles. The drop looks like it's headed towards the main, and while the chaos is happening there, he's going to come in here with these Oracles. I thought he was going to do this actually after the drop. He comes in ahead of time. Ooh, loses 1 Oracle, unfortunately.
Okay, drops off the Archons into the main. There are 3 Queens here, so can't really get much anything done. Has a couple hits, goes over to that 4th base, is warping in. And just picks him up. Gonna get out of here for now. Now, I think it is important to note that he made the Archons out of High Templars as opposed to Dark Templars, which gives you a little bit of a different feel, right? Like, it's a little bit more gas, but quite a bit less minerals. So it can go 2 ways, right? Like, either you're optimizing your gas and mineral spend, or you're kind of aiming towards going a little bit later game with Psystorm. But here we see he is walking out. He has made a lot of gateways, so looks like it's that kind of optimized version.
Okay, the push is coming through now. Interesting position he's going to try to take the fight, unless he actually goes to the upper left. I wasn't expecting him to push through this narrow area. He does eat a bile right on top of that little sentry's head. The attack comes in. Force fields do come down. I do feel like Armani probably has enough here. This is quite a bit.
Yeah, it really does look like he has plenty.
Armani definitely making the adjustments he needed to make to not have a game that looked like what happened last time. He is keeping these Immortals alive. With the Immortals and the Archons still alive, the threat of the push is still real.
Yeah, that is the important part, right? He lost the sentries, though, which is a little bit painful. And in fact, he's going to back up off creep. It doesn't feel like he can break through at the moment. And I think running away for now is probably a good play. Like, but going on the edge, you know, he can clear some creep, maybe pick off a few units, maybe force Armani to make less drones than he wants to. But Armani definitely having a much better game here. No question about that. All right, he is going to engage there for a moment. Has to unload so he can juggle those Immortals if need be. Looks like he is probably going to go into Disruptors here. Psystorm being made. He did make this support bay. I thought I heard a building cancel or something, but maybe I didn't.
This is a much, much stronger game here for Armani. I like the Spire inbound here. Protoss is going to have to take a 4th base coming up here. And definitely should not commit to this drop over here. There's more than enough Queens to deal with that.
Oh, he could have taken that.
I think he should have probably just killed all those Queens and picked them up and left.
Yeah. Still harassing a little bit with the Immortals, just getting done what he can. By the way, he did start Phoenixes, so it seems that he realizes that the Spire is being made. I didn't see a scout of it, but okay. Yeah, Psystorm being made. Second Stargate coming up, so definitely does know about that. Maybe he did cancel. Like he must have seen the Spire when I didn't realize, because he was going up towards Colossus and/or Disruptor Tech, but now making that hard right turn into Phoenixes.
Okay.
A big attack here from Armani. No real. Okay, there we go. The splash damage coming up in the form of Psystorms just storms right on top of the Immortal.
Yeah, kind of a crazy Psystorm there. Zerg definitely going to have to turn around. There's no way this is going to work.
I got to say, I have some appreciation for this very different way that Trap is playing, where he's eating more vials, and he literally just stormed on his Immortal because it was getting surrounded by units.
Yeah.
But he has the overcharged battery, so it's like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's
normally you don't see anyone make those choices.
You're completely right. His behavior in fights is quite different from a lot of the Protosses we've seen before.
That might be like a breakthrough type thing for him as well. If you start taking fights differently from everyone else and it's working, that's kind of a big brain thing. Now, there's actually quite a few mutas out. He popped 15. He's going to catch this Prism immediately. But, I mean, there's Phoenixes being made 2 at a time.
Okay. Muta's coming in now. And I like the Phoenix response here. I mean, this is basically going to make this completely and utterly useless.
Yeah, he cannot be happy seeing that many Phoenixes already up here. He's going to force a cancel on that 4th impact, kills it off.
Yeah, gets the kill there, pretty big.
And wow, big lifts as well.
Big lifts.
Big
plays
lifts
here today from the Protoss player.
Yeah, Tasos, I'm a commentator, man. It's my job to like say things. God.
I'm sorry, Artosis. Sometimes I just want to reach out and poke you.
Give me a titty twister
That's
on
right.
air.
Yeah. Give you a wedgie.
Yeah. I deserve it, Tasos.
You were asking for it, Artosis.
Yeah.
I told you, you're the smaller chicken and I have to peck you to death now.
It's important.
Well, the Muta play was shut down.
It really was. And honestly, I kind of liked it, but Trap just caught wind of it and slammed it with those Phoenixes. Now, Armani still has good supply. He's got great creep spread. He's up now on those 5 bases. And he denied the 4th of Trap, so this game is absolutely not over. Trap has retained most of his really strong units here, which is such an important part of playing Protoss. Lurker Tech on the way for Armani. Looks like he's going to go back with a few Corruptors and like 3 Mutas.
Yeah, this counterattack not going to help that much. The Protoss is inbound here with a huge attack.
Not going to dodge those vials that time.
Yeah, and actually the Phoenixes are not even going to go back and try to fight the Mutas. I mean, look, the Mutas can do a lot of damage back there inside the main. But, you know, now that we're over here, this is the real story, and this is the real threat. And these storms are insane, and there's just, like, not enough room to outmaneuver them. And this is going to be GG. There's just no way that Armani can recover from this.
Dude, that was
insane.
Yeah, that was a pretty darn good attack. I mean, let's see, Armani, I mean, he's making as many units as he can, but look at this, right in the middle of some of these rallies, like catching everything as it pops out of the eggs. Still such a strong army for Trap.
Okay, this is going really well here. I don't think there's enough Ravagers, man. I mean, this is just too much.
Yeah.
And even the drones being pulled here, the Bile's not quite connecting. It looks like he's finally going to get a kill on one of these Immortals, but...
Yeah, some of them going to be picked off. Good micro from Armani overall, but Trap just, he's plodding forward here with these very powerful units and going to be able to knock those out. GG, yeah. And Trap 2-0's Armani. I think Armani played a much better second game.
I agree.
But Trap certainly did look like he was on a different level.
Yeah, rough one there for Armani. But look, I mean... I don't think Armani's out of the tournament necessarily. I think he does have a shot here against the other 2 Protoss players, but Trap really is on another level. He is the guy we're all studying to learn, you know, what are you supposed to be doing with Protoss? What is Protoss capable of?
Yeah, and I think he really showed just fantastic play so far tonight.
Yeah.
Very, very well done. You know, Rogue was saying he didn't want to play SOS out of this group, but I think watching that, he doesn't want to play Trap, to be honest.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
All right, well, that does it for our first best of 3, but we're far from over here. Up next, it's going to be a PvP.
All right, SOS versus Zest. That's a good one. That's going to be a fun PvP. Can't wait to see it.
All right, guys, short break. We'll be right back.